Welcome to Confessions of an Agriculture Teacher Educator. This is the Youth Development Series, and this is episode 9, which I titled Pure Awesome. Now, the purpose of this Confessions of an Agriculture Teacher Educator is for me to take approximately 3 minutes, today might be hard, after each class session and to break down what happened in that class via Periscope, what I thought would happen as a teacher, what I hoped to happen, and what actually happened. And today I might, like I said, go off a little bit because as entitled in this episode is Pure Awesome. Because sincerely, this particular session, I don't know, really fires me up. See, today I was able to expose my teacher candidates and introduce them to a master teacher, Miss Stephanie Jolliffe from Ridgemont FFA in Ridgeway, Ohio. Stephanie's been teaching for over 20 years. She's the advisor of the FFA chapter that's the only one in the nation to be a national finalist in all 3 divisions, chapter community student, in the same year. Multiple time national champion, national winner. But that's not why I bring her in. See, I bring in Stephanie because she knows that FFA and those award things, which are great for civic and community and individual student pride, aren't why we do it. I bring Stephanie in because she can clearly articulate why we need to utilize that as a leadership laboratory. And as a reflection as a teacher, I realize that with technology that we have today and with the platforms we have, we used Adobe Connect. I think next time I'm going to use Google Hangout. I'm getting frustrated with the limitations of Google Connect. But with those technologies, it is, and I'm very sincere about this, I believe that it is negligence and malpractice as teachers if we choose to allow ourselves to be the sole authority of knowledge. I want you to think about that. To be the sole authority of knowledge. I've worked in youth development and teacher preparation in some way, shape, or form, for basically nearly 20 years, which is, you can see the gray hair, stuff's going on. But I don't need to be the only one that shares a perspective, even on something as basic as program of activities. I mean, I sat and took notes, and I've watched Stephanie for over 3 years, and every time she teaches, I'm like, that's it. That's the key languaging. That's the key thing we want to ingrain in our students, the perspective. It's negligence for me to prevent my students, when I have that capacity of technology, to interact and engage with experts on that specific item. See, my role and responsibility is not to know everything, but simply to facilitate and connect and to produce the best outcomes of the best candidates. It's negligence when we don't look to expand our network to help students find the best way to learn something. So today I'm going to actually read from a couple of notes. These were the things, the words that were used by Stephanie. So pardon me while I look down as we talked about program activities. I wrote down addressing community needs, student ownership, progress monitoring, reflection, being outcome-based, using leading Six Sigma principles and planning, 21st century skills, resume connections, evidence of their development, service learning, identifying and cultivating strengths, putting the activities on the school counter so everybody knows, school partnerships, no static, always being dynamic, the scoutmaster metaphor that just set it up and make sure nobody gets hurt and let the kids learn through success or failure. And that's how we avoid burnout. The learning and teachable moments and how do we maximize them. Making sure that students have an authentic audience. That, for 7th and 8th graders, maybe freshmen, it's okay for them to have a topic or a project they do for just for the sake of doing or a fake audience. But after that, let's introduce them to real stakeholders with real expectations and real deadlines. I mean, to be honest, I could go on forever, but I'm only supposed to do this in 3 minutes. Of the learning principles imparted by a 30-minute session with a master teacher. And then I got to spend the next 45 minutes unpacking those game changers that were shared. And now we get to spend the next class session thinking about how to integrate that in the evidence that show that we're prepared to be youth leaders through our process for program of activities and implementation. Great session. Hey, 2 days to National Teach Ag Day. Thanks for tuning in to Confessions of an Ag Teacher Educator. Peace and chicken grease.